welcome back to Happy Apple Core Homestead. Today we're going to talk about how to properly store your dried herbs. There are lots of different methods. I'm going to teach you my favorite one today and tell you some things to avoid. I have my herbs stored in clear glass mason jars, and currently I have these plastic lids that screw right on the top of them. But what I would like to do is vacuum seal them. We're going to do that together in just a moment. I'll bring you up close so you can see how it works. But first I want to talk to you about why I store my herbs like this and give you some tips and tricks. Tip number one, do not crush your herbs until you're ready to use them. I know it's tempting because it takes up so much less space, but all of those volatile oils get released, and so they escape into the atmosphere and it can cause your herbs to go stale faster. So keep them whole, and that's kind of what it looks like. I love these half-gallon jars because they store nicely and they hold a lot of herb. And if you're curious, I have dill here and rosemary and mullein. These are the three herbs that we're going to be working with today. Tip number two. Whether you decide to use these screw-on caps or if you decide to vacuum seal them, you're going to want to put desiccant packets inside the jar. This is very important because if there's any atmospheric moisture whatsoever, it's going to cause your herbs to get moldy and gross. This one has one down at the bottom and one on top, and then this one here has three on the top. It doesn't matter, just stick them in there. It doesn't have to be, mixed in or whatever. Just make sure you use desiccant packs, at least 2 per jar. Unless it's a tiny jar, then just use 1. Desiccant packages are fairly inexpensive to purchase online. You may have a store local to you where you can buy them. I buy mine online, and it will save you money in the long run to make sure you have these included in your jars. Speaking of moisture, tip number 3, do not store these in your shed outside where the temperature is going all wild and crazy and it's freezing and it's hot and all of that, because moisture is going to build up inside your jar and the desiccant packets are not going to be able to keep up with it. And in that same vein, don't store them in your refrigerator. Tip number 4, you do want to keep your jars in a cool, dark place. And cool, I mean just in the closet, in your pantry. So not above your stove, not above your refrigerator. And I know, you guys, it looks so beautiful to put them on your windowsill or in this beautiful show cabinet in your living room so you can display all of your hard work. But that sun exposure and light exposure is going to degrade your herbs much faster than if you keep them in a closet or a pantry where they're not being bothered and they're not getting a lot of light exposure. I personally keep mine in a designated cabinet where it stays cool because it has an outside wall next to it, but it's temperature controlled enough because it is inside my home. Also, it has doors, so no light gets in there except when I'm opening it up, and that is nothing to be worried about. Obviously I'm sitting out here and all my windows are open, and these herbs are going to be out here for a few minutes, not going to hurt them at all. You may be wondering, how long are my dried herbs going to last? It depends on a couple things. The biggest thing is, how fresh were they when you dried them? Did you thoroughly dry them? And how are you storing them? And if you dried fresh herbs, very fresh, clean, happy, not wilted and brown, they were looking good when they went into the dehydrator. Some people air dry theirs. It doesn't matter either way, as long as they were fresh herbs, that they were looking good, not brown and wilty, and you store them airtight with a desiccant package in the dark, your herbs are going to last years. Somewhere between 2 to 5 years, 2 to 3 years. It kind of depends on the herb, depends on, how they're stored. Dried roots tend to last longer than the dried herbs. You're gonna know if so I go through mine really, really fast just because of the business and making the infused oils and all of that. I don't have herbs that last longer than 2 years. I run out before then. But you'll know, so if you have herbs and you're like, man, I have this dill and it's been in the back of my pantry for, 5 years, and you want to know if it's good or not, the first thing you want to do is the smell test. So, it should smell so good. It should smell as good as the day you put it in your jar. If it doesn't, then it's losing its ability to function for you and needs to be replaced. Also, if the color changes, I'm not sure if you can see this, but this looks beautiful. This is a dill flower from last year. I harvested this probably in the late summer, or yeah, in August. I have the date right there, that's helpful. Labels are good, you guys. That could be tip number 5. Make sure you label your jars. The colors are beautiful, they're bright, everything smells good. This herb is good to go and probably will be for another year if I don't run out of it sooner. Then there are some herbs like mullein that don't have a smell, and so the smell test is not going to work for you to be able to know if it's any good or not. So keep an eye on the color and the texture of your mullein. Mullein is very fluffy when it's dried, as opposed to spiky like the dill. So pay attention, get to know the texture of your herbs when you're first storing them, so you can notice any changes along the way. You can take photographs, you can write notes on your labels so that you can remember as time goes on. Those are my main tips for how to store your herbs at home. I do recommend that you label everything. I know you can basically tell what it is, but it's really nice to know the date that you harvested it and dried it. And I like to use these dissolvable labels because they wash right off. We're going to be vacuum sealing using flats and rings. Whoa! Throwing things around today. And you can just use a Sharpie on the top if you're, for example, if you're using a lid that you took off a canning jar and you don't want to can with it again, that is a good repurposing use for your flats. And you can just write with a Sharpie on if you're never going to use it again. But these particular ones are new flats, and I might want to can with them after I use up all my herbs. So I'm going to use one of these labels so it just washes right off. With that said, let's move you up close and I'll show you what it looks like and what it sounds like to vacuum seal. You may have a vacuum sealer, an electric one at home that has an attachment on it. I know I do, but I love this handheld one. I like to know how to use it. And if we ever ran out of power, I would never not be able to preserve my herbs the way I want to. This one already has its desiccant packs in it. So I'm going to put the flat on. This particular handheld vacuum sealer comes with both the wide mouth and the regular mouth attachments. So you just pop it on like that. And this you just set right on here and you just give it about 20 good pumps. Okay, I gave it a few more because I wasn't feeling the tension, so that I know that it's sealed, and you will feel the tension. And there we go. Now, if I reef on this really hard, it is going to come off, but it is sealed and a lot of that air is gone. You can store it like this, but I don't. I always put the ring back on, because if for some reason this seal, pops, then I want to make sure that a lot of moisture is not getting in here. So with this ring on, it's going to stay at least nice and tight. And let's do the rosemary. We've got our desiccant packs. Pop our lid on. And on goes the attachment. Set it right in the middle, right over the hole. There we go. I can pick it up and everything. It's nice and sealed. Let's get our mullein done. Nice and tight. Okay, then we're gonna put our labels on, and I'm gonna take you around and give you a couple more tips, and then we'll be done. Another tip you should know, when you are dehydrating your herbs, make sure they are bone dry. Don't cook them to death or burn them, but they have to have all the moisture taken completely out of them. If, for example, you're working with a succulent type plant like purslane, I highly recommend that before you dehydrate it, you run it through the food processor first to get it into smaller bits and pieces. That also works well for things like garlic, other roots, burdock root. You can just cut them up small and dehydrate them and grind them later. It's totally up to you, but with succulent things or things that are super thick and you're going to take a long time to dry out, definitely recommend getting them into smaller bits. You may wonder, since I said don't store them in the refrigerator, if you can freeze your dried herbs. And yes, you can freeze them. They need to be thoroughly dried and they need to be vacuum sealed so there is no air at all in the package. I personally don't freeze my herbs. I love them just like this. I love them just dried and where I can access them easily to make sure that they smell good, look good, taste good, all of those things. But if you wanted to, it is an alternative if you have the freezer space and you feel like experimenting with it. Just make sure that there is no air at all inside. So you couldn't just put this in the freezer and it just wouldn't go well. So moisture is the enemy to your dried herbs, so make sure that they are completely bone dry. Make sure you use your desiccant package and make sure that you either vacuum seal them or use a nice, tight, strong lid. Vacuum sealing is not necessary, but it is an extra precaution that will extend the life of your dried herbs. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me. I get back to every single one of them, and I love talking to you guys. I'm gonna go for now, but I'll see you soon. Bye!